guys? Welcome back. It's week 12. It's two football idiots and not Colin. It's
Special guest.
Shaw.
Hey, resident
What's up, man?
Raider fan.
How y'all doing?
Hell
Resident
yeah.
Raider fan for real?
Yeah,
Yeah.
free Mad Max, by the way.
Nah. Build
Got
around Max. Build
one
around
locked
Max.
up, free him. Anyways,
All right.
Diggs. Take us through
Yep.
it, man.
So we didn't do week 11. Technical difficulties. It is what it is. I'm not really gonna go into too much depth because I don't want to because I was 8-7 and it was really bad and I had some risky picks and I thought Kansas City would pull through and they didn't. I thought Detroit would pull through and they didn't. I had, I mean, man, what other upset did I have? It was bad. That's all I know. It was bad. 8-7. I'm standing at 164 overall for the season. So, yeah, Rod, go ahead.
Yeah, man. I kicked your ass last week. 12 and 3. 12 and 3, man. But yeah, you're still only 4 games behind me, so not too bad. It's 104 to 60. So, other than that, I'm excited to see what our special guest is gonna pick this week. And, maybe he surprises us. But let's get into these bye weeks.
Yeah. Well, we got the Broncos that have no offensive power besides the last like 2 minutes of the game, feels like. But their defense is historic. Miami, they've been getting some wins up in here. So, we'll see what happens. They're 4-7. Could use it. The Chargers, pretty rocky team. We'll see how it goes for the rest of their year. And the Commanders who are just kind of just fumbling the season right now, man. So, yeah, yeah. Let's. Why don't we do Thursday night football and start with the matchups?
Ready?
So, Thursday night football. Buffalo was 7-3. Houston was 4-5. What happened? Well, I'm not gonna lie. The first three quarters is kind of boring, but if you love defense, this is the game for you. Josh Allen looked rattled. Houston got 8 sacks. Will Anderson looked like DPOY there for like the whole game. Bollock looks amazing. Just their defense, I've been saying all year, they got the number one defense for a reason. I feel like people kind of disrespected them, and they kind of went on prime time and kind of just took care of business. So that's all I got to say about Thursday night.
Shaw,
Yeah,
what
they
you
really
think,
do have
man?
a fantastic defense. It's crazy. Yeah, I was just saying that they have a great defense. It's crazy the way they were able to shut down Josh Allen. I mean, who knows? He was having an MVP caliber season this year, and after getting exposed by Houston's defense, I don't know.
I mean, he's still top five for me. I mean, you score 6 touchdowns in one game against any team, you kind of in that MVP conversation. It had to be, but Houston did take it to
It's
Josh.
Josh Allen.
Yeah, Houston did take it to Josh and the Bills. It's very clear how we see the Bills losing games this year. You shut down Josh Allen and Mr. Cook over there. Hey, they're done for. We
The
see
wide
it.
receivers are not good.
No, wide receivers aren't good. The run defense is terrible because of the injuries. They just ain't got nothing going on. But yet, all three of us have started 0-1 this week because we all chose the Bills. So,
What are you talking
uh,
about? I just got here. I'm perfect.
starting off 0-1, man, fit the brand perfectly.
Yep.
But
All right,
we should
let's
get
move
into
on.
the next games.
Yeah. Okay, guys, we start this week 12 with the 2-8 Jets versus the 5-5 Baltimore Ravens. So let's look at both these teams. For the Jets, they lost to New England, and surprisingly, it was a closer game than it should have been. But it's a divisional game to the Pats. Um, the Baltimore Ravens, well, I'll get to that with the frustration of that Brown game, but it's another divisional game. For the Jets, though, Justin Fields is out. They put in Tyrod Taylor probably for the rest of the year. I don't know if I think that's going to make it any better because it's not. Honestly, 2 games in a row where they've been creating turnovers. Not bad. Okay. They do need to run the ball more with Brees Hall, and their run defense has been atrocious because 7 games of 100 plus rushing yards is not going to win you football games. Plain and simple. For the Baltimore side, I mean, yeah, they got a close win with Cleveland. They had that little Mark Andrews type little weird fake little spin move to the end zone. Didn't expect it, but hell yeah. Roquan obviously did what he had to do at the most pivotal time, and he made sure that we got that dub. Lamar did not play awesome, so that frustrated me, and I shot at the TV for like an hour. Um, but the one concern I have is Lamar's ankle. He said that he's fine, but I still want to make sure that it's still kind of you got to look at that. Um, Regardless, Baltimore is top 10 in points for. So overall, 3 out of the 4 games they've had no offensive turnovers. That's a really good thing. That's another huge thing why they keep winning again. And during this 4 game win streak, they are running the ball, man. They're running the ball a lot more, 150 plus rushing yards, and they're 10th and third down defense. So again, props to them. Yeah, I got Baltimore winning this game 26-10. I don't think it's close. I think it's a BTA. And yeah, that's what I got. Uh, Rock, go ahead.
Yeah, man. Unfortunately, it's one of those weeks I gotta agree with you about the Ravens winning. It's unfortunately one of those weeks for me. Um, Mostly because I'm looking at like the yearly averages for all these teams. I do got Baltimore winning 28-17. The Jets for points per game, they're 26th ranked in the league right now, scoring 20.9 points a game. Baltimore is 12th with 25.2, so about like a 5 point difference between the two teams in scoring. For passing yards, the Jets ranked dead last with 164. Baltimore's 28th to 199. Um, for rushing, the Jets are actually ranked sixth with 141. Baltimore's fifth with 142. So honestly, both of these teams in total as a whole, not individually, they both run the ball pretty well. Um, for sacks, the Jets are 27th with 18. Baltimore's 29th with 15. The Jets are still dead last in picks because they have not picked off a single quarterback this year, which is crazy to me. And Baltimore is 18th with 6 picks this year. But Shaw, what do you think about this game, man? Let us know your thoughts.
I mean, really, it just comes down to the quarterback play, right? You got Lamar Jackson. This is a lopsided game right here, and like Diego said, it could be a BTA classic. Um, Really, I expect the Ravens to come in there and just run, 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 run. And I mean, that's all the Jets really can do anyways. So they can't even throw the ball. So um, I think that's really all it comes down to. Is the Ravens are going to win this game. If I had to pick a score, it'd probably be like 24-12 or something like that.
All right, we're all pretty much on the same page. It's 8 to 7 point game, maybe 2 touchdown games.
Yeah, probably 2 touchdowns.
Gross. I hate that I have
Six
to
and
pick it.
five. 6-5.
Yuck. Yuck.
All right, let's move on.
Guys, we got the 6-4 Pittsburgh Steelers against the 7-3 Chicago Bears. So you already know how I feel about it. I do believe Rodgers is playing this week. He owns the Bears. He owns that field. We getting that dub this week. We getting that dub this week. Uh all serious listen no. Oh my goodness, cut. No kidding. But I do believe this game to be a close one. It's going to be a close one. It's going to come down to the wire. Both of these teams like to fight hard. Both of these teams got some devil magic to them. Both of these teams, it really depends if their defense is going to show up, in my opinion, because if that one team's defense doesn't show up, the other team's definitely going to win, and they're very bipolar when they come close to showing up. So I got Pittsburgh winning 27-26 in a weird scoregami type game. um, as for the year, the stats for them points per game, Pittsburgh ranks 15th, was 24.6. Chicago is ninth, was 25.8. Passing yards, Pittsburgh is 26 with 210.8. Chicago is 17th, was 237.8. Rushing yards, Pittsburgh is 29th with 88.2 yards per game. Chicago is third with 146.6. For sacks, Pittsburgh is fourth with 33. Chicago is 21st. For interceptions, Pittsburgh is ninth with 9, and Chicago is first with 15. So stats say Steelers probably aren't winning this, but I'm a Steelers fan. We got Aaron Rodgers who owns the field of the Bears and the Bears organization itself. We winning. Shaw, take it away, man.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to disagree with you here. I think it's gonna be a great game. I really do. I like your score pick. I might just flip it around. The Bears, they've been really hot this year, and Caleb looks like he's taking another step up to be the quarterback that Chicago has been looking for ever.
Ever.
Since the
Forever.
beginning of time. Um, and I think the Steelers have a great defense, and they've been able to move the ball on the ground pretty well. And when Rodgers isn't getting beat up, uh, he's looked like a decent quarterback for being, ancient.
A
Um,
dinosaur.
but yeah, no, I'm gonna take the Bears here, in a close one. I don't think it'd be quite as high scoring. I'm gonna go 21-19 Bears.
Gross.
Okay, well, I think that I think I've been picking the Steelers way too much, and it's not been good, man, this year. I feel like, hey, man, my hand's turning yellow, dude. I don't like this, man. I don't like it. So, I need to stop being so damn nice, man. Yeah, I got the Bears, man. I don't got the Steelers. I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. I do believe Pittsburgh. I get like, it's just that for me, it's so inconsistent. It sucks, man. Like to just in general, even if I know I hate the Steelers, but the inconsistency sucks for any football team. You win a game and then you get blown out and then you don't know what you're doing. Like on offense, you don't know what you're doing, and then you have a great defensive game. Like I don't know what Steelers team I'm gonna get. So it's super weird and I don't know. Like I said, confusing. They did have no turnovers on offense though. In the Cincinnati game, which the past few games they had seven total. So not bad. Definitely took care of the football, and that's good. That's what it's gonna win you games, right? But Chicago side, I mean, yeah, man. I mean, the culture's definitely different there. Their coach is like all like hyped up in the locker room. It's kind of nice to see that energy. So Chicago team that's starving for something, man, for a long time, and you know they are not awesome at defense, but they are second on third down defense. So just saying, critical moment might be good for them. And Caleb Williams, his pressure percentage right now is 22.6%. So not bad. So overall, like it's a team that's obviously still trying to get better each week. But they have a good balanced attack, and yeah, I got the Bears 23-16. I believe it's a touchdown game for me, so that's what I got.
Right, well, let's move on.
Okay, we got the 9-2 New England Patriots, which is crazy, versus the 3-7 Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah, so New England beat the Jets. Overall, Drake May is playing MVP type ball. They're first in rushing yards allowed. They have a great run defense, man. They have a fantastic run defense. And the past two games though, they've allowed 100 plus rushing yards, so they probably get it together a little more, especially if they're playing later in the year Buffalo, Baltimore. So just saying that's probably the one knockoff for them. But overall, they have the ability of winning many games this whole entire year. Like the rest of the schedule's easy, man. This team can win like 13, 14 games, get home field advantage, whatnot, which is gross for me to say that, but that is what it is. Like they're just playing great. Cincinnati lost to Pittsburgh. Not just lost, like they got dominated. Jamar Chase suspended for spitting in Jalen Ramsey's face, and he thought, "Hey man, I didn't do it. Well, it's there, man. It's the camera don't lie. So I don't know what you're doing." Um, and Cincinnati is without Cam Taylor Britt, Trey Hendrickson. They're two best defensive players on the field, man. So you lose that. They are god awful on defense. That is terrible, dude. It's terrible. They've only allowed less than 100 rushing yards one time, and that was week one. Just letting you know that's atrocious. So overall, this is like a snot pounding to me. I got New England 40. I got Cincinnati 14. I got no chance that Cincinnati's gonna win this game at all with all those subtractions. So, um, Shaw, what do you got, bro?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to take the Pats. It's unfortunate. Um, but the Bengals just have too many holes, and I know it's been up in the air about their quarterback coming back. I'm not sure if he's going to end up playing or not. He might get pushed off to the next week. But I think regardless, with having Jamar Chase out, it's kind of a hole that's too big to overcome. Because this team, they really just need to sling it. They need to throw 4 or 5 touchdowns to win a game. That's really the only way they're going to win a game. And the Patriots, they got a good defense. They got a good rushing attack. They're finally giving their young rookie the ball, which I mean, for the longest time, I couldn't understand that. But um, and they got a quarterback that in his second year is looking like he could potentially be a MVP level quarterback, which, I hate to see it. But you know what? The Raiders knocked him off. So that's one of our highs of this year. It's been a tough one. But anyways, yeah, we're gonna go with the Patriots. I think it's gonna be a closer game than Diego is saying. I think the Patriots are a little bit I think they had an easy road. And I think the Bengals might show up a little bit more than expected. So I'm going to go with Patriots still winning this game, but I'm going to go with probably 24 to 21 in a closer than it should be game.
Yeah, I agree with you, Shaw, man. And something common about our two teams, at least, we both beat the Pats. So,
Yeah, we did.
yeah, we both beat the Pats. I'm proud about that. I also kind of agree with your score assessment too. I got the Patriots winning 28-20. I think for whatever reason, the Bengals are just going to come out playing tough. I know their defense is atrocious. I know they're probably going to get like 200 rushing yards on them from Travion Henderson. So, but it's just I don't know. Just the Bengals are still scrappy. They're like the younger brother that just won't leave you alone when you're just trying to chill. That's what the Bengals are, in my opinion. Um, Stats for them though: points per game. Patriots are six with 26.5. Bengals are 22nd with 22.8. So it's like a 4 point difference between top 10 and middle of the league, which is weird to me. Um, Passing yards per game, the Patriots are second with 258.9. The Bengals are 16th with 239. Rushing yards, the Patriots are 13th with 112.9. Bengals are 30th with 81.4. For sacks, the Patriots are 18th with 24. The Bengals are 31st with 14. For picks, the Patriots are 16th with 7. And the Bengals are 12th with 8. So their backfield kind of does get around and intercepts the ball every now and then. Um, I guess you could say that about both teams since they have a one pick difference and it's literally like I don't know a couple spots difference between the teams. But that I if I had to say something positive about the Bengals defense, they can ball hawk a little bit. So other than that, let's move on to the next one. Sucks to say the Patriots are winning this. All right, guys, we got the 2-9 New York Giants against the 6-4 Detroit Lions. Um, this is I'm gonna put the stamp on it, the BTA stamp. The Lions are going to town on the Giants this week. Uh, the Giants have pretty much nobody. I think Dart's back, but they ain't got no offensive weapons. The Lions are definitely pissed off about with that poor showing against the Eagles. Once again, Lions, run the damn ball. Every week you don't do that, you lose. Every time it's been proven in all four of your losses. You have not ran the ball well. So run the damn ball. Other than that, I'll get into the points per games and all that as I do for all of these teams. The Giants are ranked 19th with 21.5. Detroit's fifth with 29.2. For passing yards, the Giants are 13th with 222. Lions are 12th with 249. Rushing yards, the Giants are ranked 8th with 124. The Lions are ranked 10th with 130. For sacks, the Giants are 19th with 23. And the Lions are 7th with 31. For interceptions, the Giants are 28th with 4, and Detroit is 13th with 8 of them. So my final score is Detroit 30 to Giants 14. So, Shaw, what you think?
Yeah, I think this game could get out of hand. Um, I think what would save the Giants here is if they could establish a running game and take a little pressure off of their quarterback. But unfortunately, I know Detroit is it's a top five rush defense. I don't have the stats in front of me here, but I know that they're one of the most elite rush defenses in the league. So I think they're going to shut down Tyrone Tracy pretty efficiently, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on Jackson Dart's back, right? So it's going to put a lot of pressure on him as a rookie to step up. And I just think this Detroit team is too high powered. They could really run the ball 35 times, 40 times, and they're going to win this game. Uh, I'm going to go ahead and give this a score of 36-16 for the Detroit Lions. And then,
Yep.
Diego, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm agreeing with the both of y'all. I think it's pretty clear. It's the Lions here. Yeah, even Dart coming back. I get that. Cam Scatterboo is gone for the rest of the time. He's focusing on WWE from what I see on social media. So I don't know. This the team's kind of a mess, man. They're all banged up. It's that time of the year. They have banged up secondary. Regardless, they have a terrible run defense. So Detroit side, yeah, they're angry. It does hurt that they have Laporta on IR. So,
Mhm.
that's not good. And they have kind of a banged up O line. Like I literally saw that everyone but their center was questionable. Obviously they're gonna play, but it's like whoa, yeah. But it is that time of year, obviously, when it's playoff push and you know people get banged up. So yeah, overall I think they're gonna win 30-13. I do want to give them credit for pass defense. They have three straight games now of allowed under 200 passing yards. So just saying that they are doing kind of good work there. And even with the Eagles who are inconsistent, but again, you allowed less than 200 passing yards. That's something else. So, yeah, overall, feed Gibbs, you'll get the win 30-13, pretty much close to Ryan or Rock's score. So, yeah, let's move on. Okay, we got an NFC North clash. It's 4-6 Minnesota. It's 6-3-1 Green Bay at Lambeau. So yeah, I mean this is going to be a divisional game. So I expect some physicality in here. For Minnesota, I mean they lost to Chicago barely. I know that definitely stings for them. They're eighth in forced fumbles, so their defense definitely gets after it, tries to create something here. They're seventh in passing yards allowed. They are like pretty low on the rushing yard scale, so maybe they can get Aaron Jones the ball a little more. Because JJ McCarthy, his bad throw percentage is 25%. That's not as bad as his on target percentage. His on target percentage is 59.9%, dude. So he's like never on point. That's awful. I don't want to say it like that, but the B word's been thrown out for me, man, personally. Yeah, it's pretty bad, man, right now. And they have five turnovers on offense in the past two games, so it's sloppy, dude. It's sloppy, and you're gonna go into Lambeau, who played a really sloppy game against New York. They got the win, I get that, but they have the fourth lowest offense in turnovers in the year. They're third in opponent yards per carry. They allow 3.8, and they have created seven turnovers in five games. So defense needs to be a little bit more disciplined. I know that they don't intercept the ball like that. They're not ball hawks like they were. McKinney, I don't know where you're at, bro, but I need you to start, kind of ball hawking a little more. But overall, they're in Green Bay. Minnesota Minnesota's defense is nice, but I do not trust JJ McCarthy at all, and that already to me it seems like it's going to be a disaster. So I got Green Bay 28-17. I know it's like it should be closer, but I just feel like JJ McCarthy is going to kind of have a bad game, man. So overall, that's what I got. Shaw, what you got?
It's just kind of a battle between how bad JJ McCarthy can be and how much the lack of Josh Jacobs is going to hurt the Packers. So, I mean, if the second string player for the Packers comes in and, they can run the ball efficiently, then I definitely expect that the Packers are going to walk away with this game. But if they can't run the ball and it puts all the pressure on Jordan Love, he might make some mistakes against this Minnesota Vikings defense, which is pretty solid. But ultimately, I think JJ McCarthy, I think he's the B word. and I think the Packers are going to get a win here. I think it's going to be a decently close game. I think there's going to be some mistakes made in this game. I could see both teams having two turnovers, but I'll go ahead and go with a score of, let's go 18-16 for the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, well, I don't know why y'all so a word to say the word bust because that's what JJ McCarthy is. Uh, Other than that, I think it's going to be a close game. It really is. How well does Minnesota's defense play against a struggling Packers offense or inconsistent? I want to say struggling, inconsistent. Um, Christian, whatever his last name is for the Packers,
Watson.
yeah,
Yeah,
Christian
Christian
Watson.
Watson.
He had a really good game against the Giants. He was catching, well, after he dropped a couple, he then made up for it with a couple of clutch catches. Josh Jacobs being out really does hurt this Packers offense because Kraft and Jacobs being out, Jordan Love doesn't have a favorite target anymore. He has to find new people to target. And that's why we were probably seeing a lot of missed timings and drops from the Packers wide receivers because Jordan Love doesn't trust them yet. It's clear. As you watch the game, he doesn't trust them yet. He doesn't have the chemistry yet. On the Vikings side, their defense is really good. Like they're like the Texans in my eyes, like defensive wise. Maybe not as good as the Texans defense, but it's kind of similar vibes. Their defense is good enough to carry their team to a win when their offense it struggles. But um getting into the points here, or the stats here, the Vikings are 25th in points per game with 21.8. Packers are what have we got here? We got 24th with 17 actually on the year, which is weird. Their average went down from before. For passing yards per game, Minnesota is 25th with 213. Packers are 14th with 242. Um, Rushing yards a game, Minnesota is 26th with 103.4. Packers are 22nd with 113. For sacks, Minnesota is 12th with 26. Packers are 24th with 17. And for interceptions, Minnesota is 30th with 3, and the Packers are 27th with 4. So I got a really close divisional game here. I trust the Packers more than a bad JJ McCarthy led team on offense. So I got them winning 24-21. Other than that, unless anyone else has some final things to say about this, I think we're ready to move on. All right, guys, we got the 7-3 Seattle Seahawks versus the 1-9 Tennessee Titans. So this is BTA of the week right here. Seattle's putting up 40, the Titans are putting up 14. I'm not even going to get into all the point averages and all that because I don't need to. We all know Seattle's pissed, and we all know they got Dad's belt raiding for the Titans. Other than that, Shaw, what do you think about this game?
Yeah, we'll get through this one quick. This is one of the best defenses in the league going up against probably the worst offense in the league. So if the Titans score more, if the Titans score two touchdowns, I feel like that's almost a win for them.
For
Let
real.
me go ahead and give this a dub to the Seahawks. Let's go 28-10.
Yep, it's pretty cut and dry here. Yeah, Tennessee is gonna get dogged again, and that's what happens. Ward's on target percentage is 70%, so that's cool. He did get sacked so far 41 times. That's all you need to know. Seattle 31, Tennessee 10. Not,
Free
I got
Jeffrey
nothing
Simmons.
else to say. It's
Free
BTA.
Jeffrey. Free Jeffrey
Yeah,
Simmons.
BTA.
Yeah.
yeah, for real.
Free Jeffrey Simmons. BTA, let's move on.
Okay, we got a really good game here. 8-2 Colts, 5-5 Chiefs in Arrowhead. So the Colts had a bye. Right now, DeForest Buckner is having stem cell treatment for his neck. So we'll see if he comes back anytime soon. Yeah, this is an Indianapolis Colts team that puts up a lot of points on the board, and they do it so effortlessly at times. It feels like it's insane. They are actually top 10 in sacks, and they're top three in interceptions. So they're also getting after it, and that's really good, as well as seventh in turnovers created. So again, they got a little bit of a balance there, and that it's surprising even now they're 8-2. It's crazy. Fifth in rushing yards allowed. They got 8 offensive turnovers though in the past 2 games. That is a problem. Like that is something that should be looked at for sure. Um, and they're 27th in third down defense. Just saying, critical moments that might bite them. So, and then you got the Chiefs. So the Chiefs last year they got to the Super Bowl, right? And they won a lot of their games by like 1 to 3 points, right?
Yup.
They just flipped it. They just flipped it this year. They're losing them in the most pivotal moments. They're losing the game. And I know for Chiefs fans, not for me, but for Chiefs fans, I know that's tough to say that. But yeah, you guys are struggling, dude. So they had a tough loss against Denver. They played them tough. They're still top 10 in points for. They're still like top 10 in yards per game. They're actually top 10 in time possession per game. So they keep the ball for a while. They barely do turn the ball over on offense. Um, and yeah, I mean, Mahomes is still playing Mahomes style. It's like almost 75% on target percentage, ninth in rushing yards, second in passing touchdowns allowed. So their defense is okay, pretty good. Back to back under 100 yards rushing wise. So overall, though, I when I look at this, it really comes down to the experience and really, this is the one of probably the most important game for Kansas City in the season. And I don't think the Colts are going to win this game. I think the Chiefs are actually going to pull through. This will probably be if they lose this game, this will be the last time I pick the Chiefs, dude. I'm not going to lie. But they're going to win 24-21. Um, yeah, it's going to be a close one. I think it'll be a dogfight for sure. Shaw, what you got?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It's going to be a dogfight. And 24-21, I think that's a great score. Uh, you know, Kansas City has a good defense, and so do the Colts. Kansas City really needs to win this game to stay relevant, but at the same time, watch them burn, you know? Go Colts.
The Raider comes
Yeah, no,
out,
I'm
man.
gonna
You're a
go with
Raider
the
fan.
yeah, no, down with the Chiefs. That's for sure. It makes me so happy. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna go with the Colts here. And I'm gonna go 24-21 as well, but I'm gonna go for the Colts and I hope Kansas City stays on brand and loses a close one.
Yeah, for me, I'm gonna say there's a little bit more of a point difference based on what the stats of the year are telling me. I got the Colts winning 32-25. Why I say that? The Colts are top five in just about every stat I've been reading right now. Their first in points per game was 32.1. Their sixth in rushing yards is 266.8. Their well, excuse me, that was passing yards. They're fourth in rushing yards with 145.3. They are eighth in total defensive sacks, is 29, and they are fourth with 10 defensive interceptions. Meanwhile, the Chiefs are 11th in points per games, is 25.4. Passing yards are seventh with 262.5. Rushing yards are 19th with 115, and they're 20th in both defensive sacks and interceptions with 22 sacks and 6 interceptions. So I think it's going to be a little bit more of a distance gap in the points here, but I still think it's going to be an entertaining game. If the Colts lose, they're frauds. If the Chiefs lose, they're not making playoffs. So it'll be interesting.
Oh, time to move on.
Yeah.
All right, well, we got the 2-8 bowl here. We got my Las Vegas Raiders versus the Cleveland
Cleveland.
Browns. Let's start over. Let's start over. All right, 1, 2, 3, boy. All right, we got the 2-8 bowl here with my Las Vegas Raiders going up against the Cleveland Browns. I think there's going to be about 5 people watching this game, but
You're going to be one of them, man. You're going to be
I'm gonna
one
be
of them.
one of them. I'm gonna be one of them, and I'm very nervous because we're gonna have Stone Forsythe. Who?
Oh,
Who?
oh,
Our starting left tackle trying to guard, in my opinion, the man that should be in contention for MVP, and Miles Garrett. Uh, I have a feeling Miles Garrett is going to break the sack record this year, and I just really hope he doesn't do it against us. He needs like seven,
He's
and
gonna get
I'm
he's gonna
scared.
break 3 records in one game. That's what you're telling me.
He might, man. This offensive line for the Las Vegas Raiders is so, we're right there with the Chargers for having the worst offensive line in the NFL. Um, yeah. I live, breathe, and die Raiders, and I don't even know who the exact starting offensive line is because it's getting shuffled all the time. We lost Colton Miller, lost JPJ, and the coaching staff won't play the rookies. I don't get it. Anyways, I think this is going to be a battle of defense. I think it's going to be a pretty ugly game on offense. I'm hoping that the Raiders get something going, but really it comes down to if we can stop or at least get some bodies on Myles Garrett. I'm going with my team. I'm going with the Raiders. I gotta believe Geno Smith is going to he's gonna have one of those games where he actually is on point and he has a few touchdowns and not a few picks. So I'm going with the Raiders over the Browns, and I'm going with a score of uh, 18 to 14.
Well, all right. What's the thing Shador does? The watch, that's what's happening this week. Go Power Rangers and all that. Whatever you be doing. This is definitely going to be the ugliest game, or tied with the Atlanta Saints in the ugliest game of the week. I got Cleveland winning 17-14. Uh, Shaw, I know you said hopefully Geno doesn't throw a bunch of picks this game. Cleveland is ranked number 8 in the NFL for interceptions this year. So Geno's thrown about 4. Much
Geno's
no
number one in interceptions this year. So
yeah. Dino's going to throw about 3 or 4 this week. I hope you're ready, especially with Myles Garrett bringing down his neck. What I am, if I ever do tune into this game, I would love to see this the competition between Mad Max and Garrett here. You know, I feel like this is the type of game where Mad Max will get 2 sacks in the drive. Then Miles is going to be like, "Well, I want 2 sacks," and then it's just going to back and forth the whole game, and it's just going to be this, just going to be those two playing. Nobody else really matters. Um, I do want to see Shadur have a much better game than the Ravens. The Ravens game, Cleveland disappointed me, even though I didn't pick them last week. They had an opportunity to do the funniest thing ever, and they didn't get it done, and it pissed me off. But other than that, Deegs, I'll let you say your 2 cents on whatever this game's about to be on Sunday, and we'll go from there.
I thought it was the funniest thing ever. They fumbled the bag. They gave me the dub. Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be an ugly game, man. Offensively, yeah, it's pretty bad. Looking at the Cleveland Browns, Shadur finally gets that chance to fully start. Why did it take him so long? I don't know. But they definitely do it now. I mean, Rock obviously had his stats already there. So the new stats that I got for you is they are first in passing yards allowed. Cleveland is,
Mm.
and they are sixth in opponent yards per carry. So 3.9, right? And you look at the Raiders. I mean, when are they going to be good, man? Like I'm like I don't understand what is
we
going
need
on.
offensive line.
Like I feel it's just sad, dude. Like the good things I got for the Raiders are second in opponent yards per carry, actually 3.8. So big ups there. They're actually second in fumbles lost though, which is the highest. They're one of the highest in losing fumbles. So on offense, hey man, good job. When looking at Cleveland,
Geno
they're
too.
first. I'm just, overall, yeah. This is 17-7 in my opinion. This is Cleveland's game. I'm ready for Miles and Max show. Free Mad Max, please.
Raiders.
Okay, we got the 6-4 Jacksonville Jaguars going to Arizona and Glendale to play the 3-7 Arizona Cardinals. Yeah, it's been a weird year with both these teams in so many ways. First of all, Jacksonville is like I don't think they should be 6-4, but they have managed to get some wins call them lucky, but they're getting dubs, and that's what matters. They surprised me, man. They like beat down the Chargers. They beat down the Chargers. I got nothing else to say. Yeah, it was one of those. Um, yeah, they've been crazy. They've been crazy with it. Time possession though, they're actually first in the league at that. So they're literally always on the field. Their drives take forever, which probably why people don't want to watch Jacksonville games because they just drive forever, dude. But they are ball hawks. They're like I think second in the league in interceptions, I believe. They are second in rushing yards allowed, fourth in rushing touchdowns allowed. So good run defense, and top 10 in opponent yards per carry. They were able to run, or they were able to allow the Chargers 135 total yards. Man, that's crazy. They didn't run the ball. Justin Herbert didn't pass the ball. Like, good for them, right? Good for them. Arizona, you know, I've been there. I'm gonna tell you, the only thing that they had was the Suns, and they suck. So they got nothing else here. The Cardinals are terrible. So overall, I'm gonna tell you something positive before I get to the score because I'm going with Jacksonville here. Um, they are top 10 in passing touchdowns allowed, and they have 17 penalties last week against the San Francisco 49ers, dude. 17 penalties? Are you serious, dude? That is wild. That is crazy. It's undisciplined. They're not focused. Like I think they're going to like the Tempe, like the casino resort and just kind of just chilling there, like football, who needs that? I got the weather and I got all these fine specimens over here. I'll be all right. So that's what
Fine
their football team
specimen.
is.
Play.
Distracted,
Play.
distracted,
Hitting up those
distracted,
ASU parties.
distracted. Jacksonville wins this 28-17. Shaw, take it away.
Yeah, the Cardinals they're just falling apart. I mean, their quarterback rather play video games than actually be on the field. Um, this is a team that really just needs to run the ball, but their running back is hurt. And I think that it's just a lost season for the Cardinals, really. I think everybody was kind of expecting the Cardinals to take a step. They had promise. They have a wide receiver that should be that guy, hasn't been that guy. They got a tight end that a lot of people say is a top three tight end for sure. And I mean, he hasn't really been a factor, at least not enough to get them some wins. And their quarterback is Jacoby Brissett. So uh, the Jags are probably going to come in here, even though I think the Jags are kind of frauds. I really do. I think the Jags are going to get into the playoffs, and I think they're going to get knocked out in the first round. But they're going to beat the Cardinals here, and they're going to beat the Cardinals 28-21.
Yeah. I kind of agree with that, at least with the Cardinals getting 21. I got the Jags winning 24-21. Um, their defense is great. At least Devin Lloyd, and they're, as Deke said earlier, second in defensive interceptions this year. Surprisingly, the 30th though in sacks. They have 15 and they're 30th. A couple positive things to say about the Cardinals is that Jacoby Brissett, he broke a record, 47 completed passes last week. That's a record broken. Uh,
He's having the best year of his career.
yeah, he really is. Best. Hey, he's quarterback 33, man. Best backup quarterback out there is Jacoby Brissett. But
Yeah.
other than that, I think the Cardinals are just going to have another heartbreaker, man. That's been a lot of their games this year. It's just like they've been close and then they lose it in the last 2 minutes of the game. I don't know if MHJ is back yet. I think he is, but I could be wrong. I haven't seen too many reports on it. And then, yes, Shaw was saying they got to run the ball, but James Conner went down like week 2. So they've been scrambling to find the next person to step up. They had Trey Benson, he went down. So now it's like, what, DeMarcado and Michael Carter, right? I mean, who? Uh,
Right.
The fumbler himself.
yeah, yeah, it's just like they need something to make them not so pass heavy, and they don't have that this year. They got a young defensive side of the ball, which is great for them. So Cardinals just get a top 10 pick, get ready to retool for next year, and hopefully you guys stay healthy. So, other than that, let's move on.
All right, so we got the Philadelphia Eagles here at 8-2 going up against the Dallas Cowboys with a 4-5-1 record. Uh, this is a match that could go either way. They got rivals here that always play each other really hard. I would expect that Philadelphia is going to get it done, but Philadelphia it looks a little shaky. You got a quarterback who's really a running back, and you got some wide receivers that aren't too happy about that. So we'll see. I still think they get it done. Dallas looks decent after acquiring those defensive linemen. They traded away Micah Parsons for some picks and then traded away all those picks for some defensive linemen. So um, they were getting after it last week, and Dak Prescott is having a great year. Uh, CeeDee Lamb honestly looked a little shaky lately. He's been dropping some balls that you wouldn't expect CeeDee Lamb to drop, but anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Philadelphia here, even though I think Dallas has a chance. I'm gonna go with Philadelphia. I'm gonna go ahead and give this one more of a defensive score. I'm gonna go 18-14 Philadelphia.
Diggs, what you think, man?
Yeah, this is a tough one because they both hate each other. They know they hate each other. They love this week. They want to beat each other up. Philadelphia, I mean, yeah, we can talk about their inconsistency and stuff, and then at the end of the day, they're 8-2 for a reason. They are the champs. They get it done. And as I have definitely picked against them before, and they prove me wrong. And it's honestly like they get certain things that happen that go their way on offense, and their defense is just becoming the old Vic Fangio defense. It's becoming dominant again. They're back to where they need to go. They are also the youngest defense in the league, so they had to repair some stuff, but it seems like it's back and it's getting back to where it needs to. Um, so overall, I mean, you know, they're first in red zone offense with the tush push. They're third in red zone defense. They definitely are pretty much like the NFC Broncos in a way. But I would give the Eagles offense a little bit of an edge in offense. But and then you're looking at Dallas, or before I even go to Dallas, Philadelphia. The only thing I have concern of is Lane Johnson is out, dude, for like few weeks. So that is their Hall of Fame right tackle. So whoever they're putting in, I don't know, but it's been kind of shaky with their offensive line play. It's not been the old Philadelphia Eagles, with that. With Dallas, I mean, yeah, their offense is amazing. Honestly, do you really need CeeDee Lamb when you have George Pickens out here just killing people? Like, no, because you got George Pickens out here just being like comeback player of the year type thing, to be honest with you, because he's been killing it. Like, it's like no one can guard him. I don't know. No one can defend him. He's been crazy. 6'4" receiver, that can do that.
I
Good
love
stuff.
watching him
Good
play.
stuff.
I
Huh?
love watching George Pickens play. He
Yeah,
just plays nasty. He plays like
yeah,
wide
dude.
receiver
Yeah, it's a
what
it's
you
a
want.
physical receiver, man. Physical receiver. I like it. I like kind of the swag of it. Um, and yeah, like Shaw has said, their acquisitions are nice, man. Like Quentin Williams looking nice out there, with the star on the helmet, not the jet. So just saying, he looks like he's having a good time, and Jerry Jones is doing Jerry Jones things. So apparently that worked for this one game. I do believe Philadelphia's going to win this game, though, 21-18. It's going to be a close battle. It could go either way, but I got the reigning champs. They're gonna do what they need to do. So, Rock, I've been talking way too much. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's all good, man. Yeah, it pains me to see George Pickens doing what I knew he could be doing, and a team that actually knows how to use him effectively. It pains me to see it. Uh, I was pissed when he got traded to Dallas, super pissed, because I knew he could do stuff like this, just be completely unguardable, especially with another wide receiver one next to him. He's been wide receiver one Dallas has two of them, which is gross to say. It's also going to be the reason why I pick them this week. I'm picking them 30-24. I think it's going to be a shootout. Um, Quinnen's right in that hot hand. The Eagles' O line is banged up. They only really got Mailata. Um, yeah, the wide receivers and run. Well, I don't know about Saquon, but Hurts' two starting wide receivers don't like him. He doesn't really like them, at least the way they're throwing and catching. It looks like the chemistry's off between them. I think Dallas is just riding that hot hand, especially coming off a BTA they put down on the Raiders, and I think they're going to be confident. uh, yeah, I like that Dallas's defense looked a lot better with Quentin Williams leading the charge there. They looked like they finally had some consistency. Maybe it was because they're going against one of the worst O lines in the league. Maybe it's because they figured things out. I don't know. But let's get into this a little bit. So defensively, yeah, I mean, even going over the stats, they're like all like 1 to 2 between each other. They're very similar teams, surprisingly, except for record wise. So I think they're going to split the series. I'm going Dallas. Maybe it bites me in the butt. Maybe it doesn't. But I'll look cool if I pick Dallas and they win. So screw it.
Dallas definitely could win this game.
Yeah. So other than that, let's move on to these next games.
So we got the 3-7 Falcons here going against the 2-8 New Orleans Saints, and another one of those rivalry games where you really don't know what's going to happen here. You know they're both bad, but you don't know what's going to happen. So Atlanta's got a pretty good defense, and they got the running back, but what's happening with the quarterback? What's happening with the wide receivers? Um, you know. And New Orleans, they don't got much of much, but they're feisty, you know. They're feisty. But just based off of the defense and the running game here, I think Atlanta's going to get the job done. I think Atlanta's been kind of a disappointment this year with a team that you would think would win some games. They got one of the best running backs in the league. They got a really good wide receiver. Everybody was hoping that Michael Penix out of UW would go ahead and take that next step, but the man, his knees are made of glass. And that's just really unfortunate, but it's the truth. It's been the way it's been forever. So it's hard to know if Atlanta's going to find success with Michael Penix because it seems like every year he's going to have an ACL injury. But anyways, for this game, I'm going to go ahead and go with Atlanta. And I think they're going to go ahead and knock down the Saints to 2-9. And ultimately, that could be a good thing for the Saints. But I'm going to go with Atlanta. I think they run the ball, and I think they're going to win 24-21. Close game. But Rock, what are you thinking? What do you think
Yeah,
about
I
this
got
one?
Real in 20-16. Honestly, like you were mentioning, Michael Penix is down, Drake London is down. The right of his Kirk Cousins, who is a good back. He is a quarterback. A quarterback. He's decent. He's old. He hasn't, but he's decent. He's good enough to beat the Aints. I'll put it like that. He's good enough to beat the Aints. Uh, now, surprisingly, Atlanta's second in total defensive sacks this year with 34 of them. So I do believe that defense is going to get after this the Saints quarterback. I think it's still Tyler whoever. Who cares, honestly? You're getting replaced
What the
next year.
shuck?
Yeah, yeah, whatever. If Atlanta loses, though, it's because Bijan didn't have a good game. And that's been the theme of every team this year. If your running back had a pretty bad game, you more than likely lost. I've been seeing it all year with even these 9-2 teams, 8-2 teams. When they lost, it's because their running game was trash that game. So Atlanta, give Bijan the damn ball. Don't lose. If you lose, then you know what? Hey, you guys wanted the top 5 pick, and don't try to win any more games after you lose this one. That's all I'm gonna say. Deegs, take it away.
Yeah, both teams that are struggling. New Orleans definitely more expected to have a really bad year compared to Atlanta. Yeah, Michael Penix is out. Well, Drake London is out too. So the number one is out, which is definitely a problem. Their guards are banged up. Bergeron's banged up. Lindstrom's banged up. Not saying they're not playing, but they're having some issues there. They are really good on in terms of sack numbers. I mean, they're like top three in sacks. They're also pretty good in INTs. Overall, pretty good. Sixth in passing yards allowed, but they are 28th in rushing yards allowed. So just saying, the run defense is kind of sketch. New Orleans, they're coming off a bye. They got 10th. They're 10th in total yards allowed. So their defense is definitely feisty. Fourth in forced fumbles, ninth in passing yards allowed. Uh, they don't run the football. They're 28th in rushing yards on offense, but they're ninth in opponent yards per carry with four. So they're top 10 there. So, good stuff there. I think honestly, I'm expecting a Kamara coming out, and I expect him to really bring it to Atlanta. And I got the Saints winning in New Orleans, 21
Mm,
to 17.
mm.
Uh, I I don't
Great.
believe in Atlanta. I don't believe in Kirko Chains. I think he's just past, man. He's past the prime. And it just yeah, I think New Orleans is sneaky. I think they don't get enough credit. I know they're feisty. I know this win doesn't really matter, but why not? Why not? Put up the Saints, man. Who they? So
Gross.
that's it for me. You guys ready to move on?
Yeah, let's move on, man.
Okay, Sunday night football. 6-4 Tampa, 8-2 Rams. This is a really good matchup on paper. Like team wise, this is great. If the Bucks weren't always banged up, like they've been this year, so that's the one thing I hate about this matchup is if they're fully healthy, this is a electrifying matchup for sure. Um, Tampa Bay, they ran the football super effectively against one of the worst run defenses in the league in Buffalo, but they still lost. They gave Josh Allen six total touchdowns. That's crazy. They're just all banged up. Is Bucky Irving going to play finally? Is Chris Godwin going to suit up? That's definitely, we're going to see what happens there. They're top 10 in time of possession. They're top 10 in sacks. They're right there in interceptions, high up there. Eighth in forced fumbles. Their pass defense is really the thing that kills them. They're 27th in passing yards allowed, man. And they have allowed 400 plus total yards allowed to New England and Buffalo. So back to back games of that. That's terrible. And you're going up against the Rams, that is having a guy that's Matt Stafford that's looking like MVP for sure. He's balling out, lights out. They love throwing the ball and they have a great duo with it. Nakua and Adams is fantastic together. Their right tackle Havenstein's out, and enough about the offense. Like we know they get it done. They score a lot of points. They're sixth in it, but on defense, they're second in points against. Man, like they're right there in terms of defense. They're lights out as well. And they are always creating turnovers. They've created 8 turnovers in 3 games. So overall, this is a matchup, unfortunately, of unfortunate events for Tampa because I got the Rams in this. I got them winning 34-31. I think Baker, I think he still played pretty good football. It's not like it's bad, but they're just too banged up for me, man. And it's unfortunate. A team that's 6-2 going to be 6-5. Like that sucks, man. But I think that's really the majority of what I think. Shaw, go ahead.
Man, I am excited to see Chris Godwin back in this offense. He is an electric player, and I know he's getting a little up there in the age, but boy, when he was healthy last year and the year before that, he is a difference maker for this Bucks offense. And I know that's the same for Bucky Irving, where when he's in this offense, it just clicks. He can catch the ball, run the ball. And not having those guys in for the Bucks has been really hurting them over the last few weeks. So I think both of those guys are coming back this week. I don't know if that's confirmed or not, but if both of those guys suit up, I still think the Rams are going to
Oh man, just
win. I think the Bucks do have they have a good chance of getting things going and clicking, but I just don't think it's going to happen against this dominant Rams team. this Rams team looks good. I mean, they beat the Seahawks, and the Seahawks look good. So I think the Rams are going to go in there, and I just don't think the Bucks are going to be able to hang and stop them on defense. I think that's really what it's going to come down to. Um, I hope it's a shootout. I'm going to go with this being a high scoring game because I think it will be. I'm going to go 41-36 for the LA Rams. What do you got, Rock?
Yeah, I'm gonna get a little bit more point analytical on this one this time because I feel like this game deserves it. So points per game, the Bucks are 13th with 25.2. The Rams are 7th with 27.2. Passing yards a game, the Bucks are 18th with 236.5 against the Rams, who are ninth with 255.7. Rushing yards, the Bucks are 23rd, and this is why they're going to lose the game because they're not running the ball as effectively. Bucky Urban does play. I think he's still got to shake off the injury rust. So I don't think he's going to be up to full prime running at his best just because he's shaking off the rust. Once you've been out of pads for a little bit, it's hard to catch back up to being in pads again. It happens, but not saying that makes him a bad player. It's just saying he has to get used to being hit again. Um, the Rams are 21st in rushing yards. So once again, it's weird because they got Kyron Williams, who had a great game last week. He had a really good game last week against Seattle. Um, for defensive sacks, the Bucks are 13th with 26. The Rams are 10th with 27. And for interceptions, the Bucks are 7th with 10, and the Rams are 6th with 10. So they're tied on defensive interceptions this week, or in the year. I just like Matthew Stafford more. I know I was super high on Baker being MVP at the early start of the season, and then all the injuries and the slowdown for the Bucks offense happened. Stafford's now my number one in the contention for MVP. The one thing that worries me about the Rams, they had 4 interceptions and they only won by 2 points, which is concerning in some type of way. I know they're playing like the top 5 defense in Seattle. I'm not even sure if they're ranked number 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever, but Seattle's up there for defensively. So my score is Rams 28 to Buccaneers 25. Other than that, you guys got anything else to add, or we move on to the last game of the week?
Let's get it going.
All right, guys, we got the 6-5 Carolina Panthers against the 7-4 San Francisco 49ers. This game's huge for Carolina. If the Bucks lose and they win, they're first in the NFC South. That's huge. That's huge for Carolina. Who would have thought? Who would have thought they'd be here? But unfortunately for them, they're losing this game. Unfortunately for them. I got the Niners winning 24-18. The reason why Carolina's points per game, they only score about 18, 19 points a game. They're ranked 27th in the league, while the Niners are ranked 8th with 23.7 points a game. So for yards, Carolina, Bryce Young he broke a Cam Newton record last week against Atlanta, which was crazy to see. And that's just for Carolina's personal records, team records. He broke that. He now leads the single game passing yards for Carolina. They're 19th in the league with 205. The 49ers are first in the league with 267 passing yards a game, or at least average. Carolina, they can win this game as Rico Dowdle goes crazy again. We've seen it happen. We've seen them shock teams as Rico Dowdle getting all the carries, getting like 200 plus yards. That's how I do see them potentially winning this game against the Niners. But I just feel like Kyle Shanahan and Robert Saleh are just coaching this banged up Niners team super well. Like Shanahan's coach of the year, in my opinion. Saleh should be defensive coordinator of the year, in my opinion, just because of the pieces they're working with and how many people we're losing. Then they just lose D. I think they lost D. Winters last game. I don't know for how long, but it's crazy. They're down to like their 10th string linebackers, 10th string defensive linemen. um, moving on for a total defensive sacks, Carolina's 28th with 16. The Niners are 32nd with 12. For interceptions, Carolina's 15th with 7. And the Niners are 31st with 3. So it's going to be an offensive game more than defensive, in my opinion. But somehow it's still low scoring because there's going to be sloppy turnovers, in my opinion. So other than that, Shaw, what do you think, man?
Well, I just want to start off and say thanks for having me on today. I know this is our last matchup of the week, so thanks for having me on today. It was a good time. But I just wanted to say, man, it is crazy that the 49ers are the worst in the league at sacks.
Yeah,
What
No.
they don't have
in
anybody. They don't have
Yeah,
anybody.
they're all dead, man. They're all
They're all
dead.
injured. They're all injured.
Yeah.
They don't have
yeah,
nobody.
things change, man.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm just looking at the 49ers team, and this offense is starting to get healthy. Kittle's back. Gunshot Pearsall's back. Um, you got Mr. Irrelevant slanging that thing, and Mr. Indestructible and Christian McCaffrey. Um, so
Sure.
I think this offense is going to come ready to play, and I think they're going to beat Carolina. It's just hard for me to really believe in Carolina. I mean, everything we've seen for as long as I can remember, it just smells like fraud. And I think the 49ers are going to get it done. They're trying to stay relevant. They're trying to have a chance. So I think the 49ers are going to win this game. They're going to beat Carolina, and it's going to be a score of let's go 33. I think Christian McCaffrey has another one of those games. 33 to 21.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
What do you think of Deeks?
Yeah, honestly, Bryce Young passing for 400 plus passing yards last week was kind of insane. Even if it was against Atlanta, that was pretty crazy. Yeah, when looking at it, I mean, in Carolina, they're seventh in passing touchdowns allowed. And just so people know, Bryce Young's in terms of growth, last year on target percentage was 71.9%. This year it jumped to 78.3%. The bad throw percentage, it was 22.3%. It's gone down to 17.3%. I'm just saying. So, obviously, I do it. I'm guilty of saying they're a bust or this or that. But at the end of the day, you have to let these guys develop, into something and figure out what they're going to do in their second, third year. Obviously, it's a little too late, I think, like in terms of like he should have developed this a little more, but I'll give him props for that. Um, yeah, they're pretty bad on third down defense. They're actually pretty good on fourth down defense. Going to the Niners, I believe Rock already said it. Mike Shanahan's like coach of the year to me because he's done more with less. And it shows. I mean, yeah, their linebackers are all flying, like they're all getting on the IR, man. They're all in the hospital beds. It's full in that hospital, man. It's bad. It sucks. I mean, even their kicker Pinheiro is questionable. Like, bro, like when are they gonna stop getting injured, my guy? Like, it's kind of insane. But
My fantasy team out here, man.
they're just dropping like flies, man. And so, it's definitely hurt them defensively. Obviously, they're disciplined enough. They have a nice defensive coordinator in Robert Saleh, who's been able to, make sure that they play defensive minded and have that mentality of next man up, right? But when looking at it, they just allowed a lot of total yards, man. The past two games, they've allowed 400 of them. The past two games, and but they have a nice third down offense. They just need to run a little bit more with McCaffrey a little bit. I would like to see more of that. And this is probably going to hurt me a lot, but yeah, I'm going with the Panthers. I got the Panthers winning this. The
I like it.
injuries to me, the injuries to me is just a lot, and I feel like the Bryce Young growth I think is real, and I think he steps up and he knows what's on the line, and he gets that first in the South for at least a week. So 28-24, I got the Panthers winning.
All right. Well, Shaw, we appreciate you filling in this week, man. We'd love to have you back more if you ever did want to come and do it. Other than that, remember to hit like, subscribe, noti bell, comment, tell us how stupid we are, talk your ish, tell us your records. Hopefully CJ can show back up next week. Scheduling has just been super rough for all of us. So other than that, good luck to all your teams, unless you're the Bengals, Browns, or Ravens, and have a good week.
Or the Chiefs or the Chargers or the Broncos.